Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is Ryan, this is Victoria. Welcome to the first broadcast of, we'll call this Know Your WWE Know Your Role broadcast. So we're
That's pretty good.
You like that? You like that?
Good. From your brother and sister of Providence.
Exactly. So we're gonna start this episode off with the what we think about the storylines and how they should go. We're gonna start off with the WWE title. I mean, that's the way to go, right?
We start from the top and go down to the bottom because it really starts from the top.
Okay. Brock Lesnar, WWE champ.
I'm fine with Brock being the champion, but it comes down to one thing, and I know we're gonna agree on this.
It's okay. See, I don't really care for him being the champion, but we're in the same.
Yeah.
We're in the same thing. Now, if Brock should be champ, he should be there every week. The champ should be there every week. I thought it was okay when The Rock was champ.
But it's The Rock, he's already made his name.
And that's why it was okay. Rock, he made his name. He was all, everything about him was great. I was fine with that. Now you're throwing it. It seems like WWE is just trying to show their past people when they need to be current.
No, you have to. If your champion's got to be there, they got to represent the belt every time, every Monday Night Raw, even
that.
fuck it, SmackDown.
I know, and we agree on that.
That's what I'm saying, though.
But I still don't think Brock's the guy. You got.
But he can be the guy. He can be the guy if they make him be the guy.
But he's not going to be there all the time. You got to have your new talent, your good talent, be the people. I don't like Cena. Fuck, I'd rather have Cena be the guy.
I agree that Cena should be, because Cena's the only one that's been capable to have the belt.
But let's be real. I don't want Cena to have the title.
No, just because of the vagina doesn't mean I like John Cena.
Exactly.
I don't like John Cena. But he's the only one that they built up enough to carry the belt. They don't build anybody else
That's
up.
another problem right there. That's the only one they're carrying to be the champ.
The Randy Orton. Well, don't get me fucking started about Randy Orton. How tired is everybody of seeing Randy Orton and Cena? Every fucking pay-per-view for months was Randy Orton and Cena. They have nothing else, but they have great talent.
No, which brings us to our other point, which is, we have this whole now feud with Randy Orton and Dean Ambrose. That's their new big thing now. Because obviously the title is vanished because
Brock Lesnar's not going to be there.
Exactly.
But Heyman will be.
Yeah, I know. So now the thing is, let's put Cena and Dean Ambrose together.
That doesn't make any sense. It blows my fucking mind.
Exactly.
Okay, during the pay-per-view when Seth Rollins comes out and doing cash in his Money in the Bank, they could have done a big storyline with that. Instead, next week on Raw, what do they have? Dean Ambrose face fucking John Cena? That doesn't make any sense. They should have started a feud with Seth Rollins and Cena.
No, and exactly. They're trying to, because they need to build up Dean Ambrose, because Dean Ambrose is becoming the next big thing.
Because Roman Reigns isn't there.
Exactly,
so
but there's another guy we could talk about later, which is becoming another big thing. But now we're throwing him against Cena, which is totally off what they need to be going. They need to be putting him against another guy that, he can build his name, and even put him against give him a title shot. And I hate to leave off the subject right away, but it just
What do you do?
It just brings into the next thing that we've been really debating, and I hate to
just change all the time. But
it's all about that IC title. It's all about that IC title.
And who should be getting the IC title?
No, before we even start about that, it's like the IC title meant so much back in the day. Now,
but it still does. It still does. To me, it does.
It does, but WWE's killed it. Back in the day when we had The Rock and Stone Cold going at that IC title. And we can even go back in the day, Macho Man, Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat.
And they were great. Those were the matches.
And Shawn Michaels, it brought you won that title to move yourself up.
You couldn't wait to see not just the WWF at the time championship match. You want to see the IC, who's going to be the next big guy. Now I have who is it, Dolph Ziggler?
Yeah.
Who I like. I like Dolph. I love him, but they're not going to build him up to be the champion. So if they're going to put the belt on somebody, the IC belt, that's the next big guy. That's the guy you're going to build up to be the next champion. They don't do that anymore. It's just like you have the WWF Championship where 3 people will fight for, maybe 4, and then you have the IC who no one gives a flying fuck about.
Well, no, because the IC is just a little, side little. They're almost, the IC is almost like jobbers now. And
everybody else is considered a jobber except
horrible.
John Cena, Randy Orton, and like those fucking people. And it's like,
because you have right now you just have your title matches, and apparently how it's been going lately is you have your title match, and then Seth Rollins interferes. The same thing every week, and it's like, you guys, come on, get your stuff together. Let's have two legitimate guys going after the title. Let's have two legitimate guys, or whatever. We have a bunch of different guys. We have Dean Ambrose, even Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, Dolph Ziggler.
That's what they need to go.
And all those guys could be going at that IC title. It could be huge. It could be epic. All would be great.
You know what they need to start with, though? They need to get Bray Wyatt. Because he's going to be a champion.
No, they do.
But they're fucking him over slowly. Why wasn't he on the last pay-per-view? Where the fuck was he? I mean, yes, he had to build with Jericho, and Jericho was leaving, and he had to face Randy Orton because of Roman Reigns, like, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't matter. Like, this is the time to start building your new talent because no one wants to see Cena anymore. If you listen to the thing, it's all Cena sucks. No one gives a fuck.
Yeah,
because we want to see a new talent, and they have the talent. They have a whole roster full of great talent. And what they do, they build them up to a certain point, like, oh my god, they're going to do it. And then they fucking dick them over.
Yeah, but
like,
we got...
Like Cesaro.
No.
Like, Cesaro was a great example of how they put Paul Heyman, they were going to build him up, and then...
Cesaro could be a great heel for the IC title and to bring him up. And I agree.
Sure.
Totally agree. But like I said, that's how we get our guys going. And they're just... And then it goes back to the Brock Lesnar thing. Now we're just throwing it to some guy who's been there before, and he's only wrestling how many days a year?
He wasn't even on, how many Raws was he on last time before the pay-per-view? 2? Maybe 1?
Yeah, exactly.
One?
Well, he was on one where he was just like on satellite. Like, come on, really?
But back in our day, like not just even the Attitude Era, even prior to the Attitude
Era,
Era,
every day.
like the 90s. I mean, we had the belt still on there. Like Diesel had the belt on there. And
they were even at house shows. I remember going to house shows, and you still had them going at.
Yep, I saw plenty. How many times did we go see a house show and we saw, what was it?
Yeah, no, we saw Bret Hart versus Diesel at the steel cage match.
Yeah, steel cage at a house show, at just a little
show.
tiny little house show. But now they don't do that anymore because they don't care. They don't care about their product. They care about who's gonna sell merchandise.
Exactly.
And that's it. And finally, the crowd, like, I don't know if you guys saw the Raw. It was the Raw where they had the Slammies. How the crowd was so loud for Daniel Bryan. They wanted to see.
Yeah, but you're being
Daniel
a homie.
Bryan.
Don't be a homie.
But it's true. But finally, no. But
I'm a homie too. But
this is my his hometown. But it doesn't matter. This is what I'm saying is that from that show, we cheered for him so loud, and they finally realized, like, oh shit, maybe people don't want to see fucking John Cena and fucking Randy Orton because no one gave a fuck about the belts becoming one. No one gave a fuck. All we cared about was fucking seeing Daniel Bryan. That's all we cared about. And they don't get it. Like, they get it for a little bit, and then they forget. Like, oh, whatever. Cena makes lots of money. He has fair pebbles, whatever.
Yeah, but I don't want to just go on the Cena thing because I mean I get Cena. I mean he can sell, and I get all that.
But my point is,
I hate Cena as all that. But I get where you're going, and that's not exactly where I wanted to go with it. It's just there's other things they can be doing. Like, yeah, you can have Cena do his thing, whatever. But you have to have more than just. It feels like WWE stuck to one storyline, and then everything else is just an undercard.
A filler. It's a filler.
Yeah.
It's a filler. And I don't need the filler.
And the problem is your one big thing ends up like John Cena in the last pay-per-view. Ends up in a disqualification.
Not even a good one. Not even a good match. It wasn't even a full match. It was just a DQ, and then it was over. And what happened? You're thinking, something big's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to see that stuff.
I haven't wanted to see anything since the last Royal Rumble ruined it for me. After that, all these pay-per-views, I cringe when I have to watch them.
It was the one pay-per-view that you always say, what the Royal Rumble always produced, and it was finally they didn't produce, and you're just like, oh my goodness. Now I'm not deterring from. I love WWE. Don't get me wrong.
But that's why I'm such a fan. I'm such a mark when it comes to WWE.
I still try.
But I just don't like it. I don't think that they're actually wrestling. It's not wrestling anymore. It's just a really bad soap opera that they're just stuck in this rut, and I'm tired.
And like we've been saying, it goes from the WWE Championship, which and then we had the IC, which we all have. We want that to be more legitimate, and then that
pretty much was the belt. That was a championship belt.
And then there's the tag team championship belt.
Well, the tag team is something that has been dead because they don't have tag teams.
Ever since the Dudleys, the Edge and Christian, and the Hardys.
Don't say they ruined it.
No, I didn't say they ruined it.
Yes,
I said, no, I wasn't.
Okay.
I was saying ever since that.
You fucking spit on me, yeah.
It happens. Ever since that, they haven't had anything. They could never counter what they did. And you don't have to. I mean, I understand it's PG era and they're not trying to do the hardcore stuff.
But you
That's
don't need
fine.
hardcore.
No, but you could do plain. I mean, look at the Wyatts. I mean, look what the matches they threw on. Even with the Usos.
Here's my problem,
the Usos, like, I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of the Usos, but they put on a good show. They put on a great show, and then when they had the Wyatts with them, it was amazing.
But you know where it starts? Hold on. Do you know where it starts? Is that they need tag teams. You can't just throw two random people together like Ryback and Curtis Axel. You can't just throw random people together. That's all they've been doing. They need people to come in as tag teams because that's going to build them up to be the big star.
Well, it's just like when they
Shawn Michaels, they started. That's where they got their groove going, and that's where they got it, and then everyone recognized who they were.
Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. They started them
British
in.
Bulldog, and everybody started from a tag team. And then they built from there, and then they got to the IC belt, and then they built from there.
And it was great.
It's a building process. We don't build anymore. There's no building. There's no building.
And we have NXT, so we got all these young guys. We can put them together and do. We can put them with like a up and coming guy that's already there in WWE, and get it going.
Why don't they fight for what's another title they have? The US. Something like
and
that.
that's
at least that gives the NXT people something to fight for when they come in.
See, that's the problem.
It's like the light heavyweight belt.
Because Sheamus. That's who Sheamus. Sheamus should be going after the Intercontinental title. That's the minimal.
To me, he's a little too he's just not it. He's not it.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of part of WWE's problem, creative problem by not? And that's the other thing with creative, shouldn't we be adding somebody else there in creative?
You know what we need in creative? Scratch the whole team because they suck. I mean, some people agree that was the best pay-per-view.
See, okay,
it's not. But I think
we have two different opinions. See,
no.
I want Vince Russo back. I mean,
I didn't say that I didn't want Vince Russo.
No.
Like Vince Russo because he built everybody up from Al Snow to Crash Holly, who was 400 pounds and had a great gimmick. I loved it. But we need a little bit of Vince Russo, and we need a little bit of Jim Cornette. Because if anybody knows about Jim Cornette, he is so skilled on matches. Maybe not
Jim Cornette would never come back to WWE.
Which is where we disagree. I think you give Jim Cornette the right amount. If you're listening, Jim Cornette, I'm sure if they give you the right amount of money, that they will actually, he'll take it back.
See, I'm not so sure about that because I mean.
But they need it, don't they need it? Just agree with me that they need a little Jim Cornette.
But I mean, you're acting.
The matches
yeah,
suck.
But you're acting like he's a Paul Heyman where he'd come back for the money right away, and I don't agree with that.
I just want to behind the scenes.
He's not like Paulie, and he would.
No, but okay, listen to this. But I just want someone to come in to make the matches good because the matches are very robotic now.
They're not even robotic now. It seems like they're always ending in DQ or something like that, and they're not even having good solid. And here's the biggest thing. Raws are boring, absolutely boring. And here's the biggest problem is there's no surprise on Raw. There's no title changes. There's no craziness going on.
Sometimes we have a special guest. That's all we get. I don't watch it for the special guest. I watch it for the wrestling because I like.
And then your special guest is
Drew Carey.
I mean,
it's like Jerry Springer.
No, or you have my favorite wrestler of all time, Shawn Michaels. And he comes in there and all he does is promo something or say something, and that's it. And it's like, you're killing me. I mean, get us some flavor,
But they can do it. They can do it. They have everything they need. They just don't have the creative team to build up the WWE. And if WWE's looking for information, I will gladly give it to them. I'll just spew off some bullshit.
Exactly.
And if you guys want to listen to some good shit before we end this, is go to the podcast one and listen to Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast and Chris Jericho and Jim Ross because they talk about all this.
Great knowledge. They
know,
obviously better than us.
They know the business better. And they know that it needs to change, so it's not just two random people telling you that WWE sucks, because it's not what we're saying. We just need something a little different, because it's not what we're asking for.
Exactly. We still watch it every week. We hope for the best.
And we hope for D-Bry to come back very soon.
Exactly. That's going to be it for this week. This is Ryan.
Victoria.
See you next week.